Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Talisker Resources channel. We're, of course, sitting here once again with Terry. And Terry, previously, you did a great job of walking us through your past and how you got involved. But today, we want to know more about the company itself. So how are you doing? Are you ready to get into it?
Yes, Michael, really glad to be back.
Perfect. Glad to have you back. And so to kick off nice and easy, the easiest thing I could ask is, imagine I'm meeting you for the first time. I'm looking to invest in some companies. I don't really know much about mining, but I'm asking you, could you give me just an elevator pitch?
So we're gold explorers. We're focused in South Central British Columbia. We've got a flagship project called Braylorn, which is a historic project was one of the highest grade, longest producing gold mines in British Columbia. An average produced grade historically of nearly 18 grams, 17.7 grams. Wow. So it was one of the highest grade producers in the history of British Columbia. So we've taken a new approach to that project, and we're doing quite a large drill program there. We're up to about 110,000 meters, so that's an awful lot of drilling. We're finding a lot of new veins that are host to the gold deposit, and we're working very aggressively towards our first resource. So really, that's what our main focus is as a company.
Perfect. You know, one of the things I often talk about when it talks about finding gold or any other precious metal is location. And where are you going to find it? Well, where was it found previously? That is, by and large, the best place to look for more of it.
Absolutely. People always say in the shadow of the head frame. And in this case, it's exactly right. Really, with the history of the project, it was throughout the period of the gold standard. And for any of your younger viewers that might know what the gold standard was, that was a time when the gold price was fixed. So it was a very difficult time for gold producers. Mm-hmm. Actually, in Canada, around the end of the old Braylorn mine life, gold mining was actually subsidized by the government to keep people in jobs. When we look back to when that project was closed, the gold price was $35 US an ounce. So we convert that into current dollar value, so index that up with inflation. That equates to about 220 US dollars per ounce now. And now we're almost, we're 18, nearly 1900. So an order of magnitude, nearly 10 times the economics that they were producing back there. So that's one of the things that really got us interested in the project, is this economy of scale change in the economics from when we had the gold standard.
Yeah. And, on top of just the location and the good timing, tell me about the fact that you guys, the project is already permitted. And can you elaborate on why that's such a big deal as well?
Well, it always takes time to go through the regulatory process to take a discovery through to a mine. And that can range, depending on the jurisdiction you're in, from 5 years up to 10 years. So it's quite a lengthy time frame that investors and shareholders and us as management need to wait before a project can go into production. The great value with our Braylorn project is that it already has a major mines permit. So it can effectively be fast-tracked into production without having to go right through this lengthy process. And the huge benefit that has is that right at the moment, we're in a major period of industry consolidation and merger and acquisition. We've seen some really big transactions with Barrick and Randgold, with Goldcorp, with Newmont, more recently with Agnico, with Kirkland. But we've also seen single project transactions like with Kinross and Great Bear. So what we can see at the moment is there's a great deal of M&A activity in the industry. Yes. What there isn't a great lot of is available projects, particularly available projects that are permitted and are close to a production timeline. So that's one really key thing that we have in Braylorn, not just a high grade deposit that has been de-risked from a lot of years of production, but also something that's very close to production and really is a sought after commodity in a very active M&A or merger and acquisition industry.
Yeah, agreed. And like you said, you've been making progress on this project with leaps and bounds. And from there, so like, how close are you to estimating the final resource, and like, how do you feel the rest of 2022 is going to go for you guys?
Well, it's looking like a really great year. We're coming to the end of our large drill program. We're probably going to drill about in total at this project about 130 to 140 thousand meters. So it's 140 kilometers, if you like, of drilling. And all that's been done basically in the last 2 years. So we've taken a very aggressive approach to get this done. And all of that drilling, Michael, is feeding into our first resource, or our maiden resource. So at the moment, we're not valued on anything. We're valued on the speculation of what our resource will be. But coming into our second quarter, that's when we anticipate that we'll have that resource ready to go to market. And we see that as a significant re-rate in our valuation as a company, because we have a solid economic basis for the value of the company. And at the moment, we're anticipating that we'll see somewhere in between 1.5 to 2 million ounces of resource for our first resource statement.
Perfect, Terry. And I'd love to dive in deeper into all those aspects of the business. But for now, I think you did a really good job of providing a good outline. And again, everybody, don't be afraid to ask questions about any of it, and we'll happily dive into it further. We know not all of you watching are mining experts, so just let us know, and we'll happily elaborate as much as we can. But for now, Terry, thank you for coming on.